Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of Golden Era.
Hello viewers, today's episode of Mind Watch is dedicated to our elders, our senior citizens who have weathered the ups and downs of life to make our present and the future a reality for us. Often, old age is considered to be a fate potentially worse than death for some, a dreaded stage in one's life. But is it really so? What is meant by old age or by growing old? Does it necessarily mean despair, dependence, and disability? Let's sift fact from fiction in today's episode of Mind Watch.
Growing old may mean different things to different people. While for some it may spell disability, dependence, and disease, for others it may be a time to sit back and enjoy the fruits of long labor, a time to relax in the company of grandchildren, or to pursue newer avenues, providing for stimulating experiences. Thus, it continues as a process of growth, filled with hopes and aspirations for the future.
And as somebody said, we don't grow old. We stop growing, we become old. So that is the difference between the biological age and the chronological age. See, one has to become old at one stage or the other, but the rate at which this age difference comes is very, very slow. It all depends. The physiological phenomena are such that whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever our habits are, whatever we think in our young age is what you become in old age.
Aging involves two very important things. Number one is enrichment of life with experiences. Number two is gradual and practically imperceptible changes in the physiological mechanisms of the body. Therefore, it is a very gradual process which is practically not perceptible by the persons unless the changes in physiological functioning of the body declines very precipitously.
There are many changes which occur in the body as one grows older. These are some inevitable consequences of aging. For example, graying of hair, needing reading glasses, joint pains, which you call rheumatism, hardening of arteries, wrinkling of skin, forgetfulness, what is called benign forgetfulness of old age. These are absolutely inevitable.
He was not hard of hearing earlier, but with his deteriorating health, the problem has increased. He is almost deaf now and is able to hear only if we speak very loudly.
I can't walk properly, I lose my balance. I often feel dizzy and feel like sitting down. At times I have an uneasiness in my head also. She's about 90 years and has some problem in breathing. Her eyesight is also poor and she can't hear properly. I have pain in my knees and can't walk, but I don't have any problems if I am otherwise all right.
Actually, the physiological decline in the life only starts after 40 or 45 years, and that too also in a very gradual way. Now, the physiological changes can be put to different organ systems, like decline in the endocrine functions of the reproductive system, degenerative changes in the bones, a gradual decline in the sizes of the muscle, or practically you may say a gradual wasting of the muscles. Then as regards to the changes which occur in the nervous systems are very gradual and they do not occur before 60 years of the age.
The important thing to realize is that these are very minor and should not weigh you down or bother you. At best, I like to term them as of nuisance value. You can't walk as fast because your joints hurt. You can't read without reading glasses. But if one just accepts these changes as inevitable and tries to fight them and makes the most of them, then one won't be bowed down or cowed down by these.
Nothing can remain static in this world, and this is true of the human body also. The human body is programmed to bring about changes in its own functioning, and with age this ability is slowed down. Because of this, there are difficulties that are faced by the human body as the age advances, including increased vulnerability to illnesses as well as decreased adaptability to the changes in the daily routine, environment, stresses and strains.
There are many problems and illnesses which are associated with old age. Some of them are very minor, such as reading glasses. Others are little more serious, such as stroke, heart attack. Many of these diseases are related to old age, which is that they become commoner as one grows older. But the point to realize is that a great majority of older people are healthy. They are both physically and mentally healthy, and they require no assistance whatsoever and can take care of themselves.
I am a diabetic patient for last 30 years, and by chance and by the grace of God, I am continuing to maintain my health because of certain factors which I assume are very important for anybody in life. And that is that one has to be very regular and particularly very strict in his maintenance of medicines and the treatment that is advised by the doctors.
12 साल का जब से कारपेंटरी कर रहा हूँ.
Since the age of 12, I've been a carpenter. Today I am 75, 76. My children ask me to stop working, but I insist I will till I can.
थोड़ा बहुत जितने देर हाथ में ताकत है उतने देर मैं काम कर सकता हूँ करूँगा.
My recommendation to everyone as they grow older is not to start withdrawing from things. It's very bad for a person to say, I've given up reading, I've given up walking, I've given up socializing because my joints hurt, I need reading glasses. That's extremely bad and leads to depression and withdrawal.
Besides the body, the brain also gradually starts showing signs of aging. There are changes in the personality and behavior. The mental processes and mental alertness starts gradually declining. Any inactivity or boring dull routine can contribute to this process of mental aging.
There are two broad categories of psychological changes which one must consider. The first is behavioral changes, such as becoming more irritable, becoming less tolerant to other people, become less tolerant to children making noise, not willing to accept difference of opinion. The other category is memory changes, the ability to form new memory, that is learn new things, declines with age. However, this is trivial and is of no consequence and happens to almost everybody.
The elderly are particularly prone to psychological problems because of a combination of various factors: physical, psychological and social. It is estimated that about 50 to 60% of old people are prone to some kind of psychiatric disorder. The most common of the psychiatric disorders in the older group are dementia and depression. Depression results from various factors, both due to physical susceptibility in old age as well as to other psychological factors like feelings of rejection, loneliness, a lack of something constructive to do, the post-retirement period when a person can feel useless or helpless, and also a lack of care and concern by family members can lead to feelings of depression.
मैं अकेला कोने में बैठा रहता हूँ, बोर होता रहता हूँ.
I keep sitting in a corner and feel quite bored. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like talking with anybody. When I was all right, I used to feel so secure and strong. But since the time I have developed this problem, my life has completely changed.
It is better not to ignore an illness, hoping it'll go away, which it won't. And at the same time, it is not advisable to take too many unnecessary medications, which can be dangerous.
As far as psychotherapy and counseling are concerned, this is mainly a kind of a talking therapy where the old people need to be reassured, they need to be given a lot of support to handle their problems, to cope with them effectively.
The importance of light, simple work and a busy daily routine is of utmost importance in the post-retirement 60-plus years, as it ensures the necessary mix of physical activity and mental stimulation that helps to keep the body fit and the mind agile well into the later years. This automatically increases a sense of self-confidence, independence and self-esteem in the elderly.
Bulk of the people, especially in the middle class, seem to be sort of mortally afraid of getting into the old age syndrome. I don't think this applies that much to the rural people. Partly because in agriculture and in those kinds of occupations, there is no particular age bar that you cross and therefore feel insecure and all that. But in the urban areas, particularly in the middle class, this is very much there.
After retirement, some people start believing that they are worthless and have nothing to do. And when they keep harboring these negative thoughts and feelings, they feel very frustrated and the process of aging gets accelerated.
I never considered myself that aged and old, that I should get into that group where they feel they are old, they should take some rest, or they should not labor too much, they should live in peace, they should go somewhere. I never was a believer, either in theory or practice.
Old age is not merely related to a person's age, but it's a state of mind. There are quite a few people who are above 80 but continue to maintain their enthusiasm and never feel dejected.
So there are a number of people who are in their 70s and who are in their 80s and beyond, and physiologically and psychologically they are not old. They may look old, but when they look old, that means they are wiser and they have more experience, and they should utilize it the same way.
Because I feel the old, they are rich in their experience, their maturity, their wisdom, they can share with society. And when we see around, when the families are breaking down, when the system as such is getting more and more degenerate, we feel the old people have a lot to contribute. And the old people, once they have some mission in their life, they have a goal, they have a purpose, and if they remain active, they are creative, and if they are constructive in the society, they can contribute a lot.
Rapid urbanization, breakdown of traditional joint or extended families, migration of youth to cities and abroad, inadequate living space or generation gap have all contributed to the distancing of the family members from each other. This has sadly reflected in the marginalization of the elderly.
In the sunset years of their lives, it is rather sad and unfortunate that some of the elderly have become victims of societal neglect and exploitation, often left to fend for themselves, living in isolation and beset with feelings of loneliness, yearning for their near and dear ones.
Well, in olden days, the children used to live with the parents. The joint family system was there. This has vanished. because the children get educated nowadays, and they go out of the town to other places, and they start living separately. So the elderly people are left alone. And the implication is that when they get old, so long as they are able to look after themselves, things are all right. But a stage comes when they are unable to do even their routine things themselves. They have to depend upon others. Then there is a problem.
We have two children, one daughter and one son. They are one is abroad and one is in another town. So when they come, they stay for a few days or a few months or something like that and then go away. And we also go to them. But up to that point, it is all right. When again, when we come back, we are all alone.
The society consists of people, old as well as young. When the old people have done their part for bringing up their children, the children, when they start their life, they are not at all bothered and they are so much ungrateful that they will not do anything for the parents. They will live their own life and they will not at all having the spirit of sacrifice for the old people.
Where are the hearts now left? Now all are empty, no heart. Heart is gone. There was heart when people used to keep parents just like they used to treat them as gods, not as human beings. They used to obey them like anything. Now it is only that if parents or the elderly people obey them, it is all right, they keep them with them. They will say, all right, we become your slaves, give us bags, we put in our shoulder and go to market and just work as your servant.
When they find that they are not given the attention, given the respect which they deserve, they suffer very much at the mental level, not the physical level. They are prepared to undergo the physical sufferings, but not the mental sufferings.
Some parents are such that they have troubled so much to their children, to the children. It is not only the children they have disturbed, the parents also sometimes do that type of thing, which the children become forced to send them away. And at some times, it is the children, those throw away the elderly people, they can't adjust with them because they are rude. It is not only one fault of one side, it is both.
आजकल के ज़माने में नवयुवक
These days, as soon as the son gets married, he thinks of living separately away from his parents. He becomes totally insensitive to the needs and wishes of his aged parents. Because of his busy schedule, at times, even though he may be living in the same house, he might not get time to talk to them or ask them if he could be of some help. He is too busy in his life.
होनी चाहिए और ये तमन्ना पूरी करने के लिए मैं किस प्रकार की उसकी मदद कर सकता हूँ.
The manager of an old age home recounts the problems of the inmates.
तो इन वृद्धों के बीच में मैं 5 महीने से अपना समय गुजार रहा हूँ. मैंने इनकी दास्तान सुनी.
I've been with these aged people since the past 5 months. I've been spending a lot of time with them, and I feel that some of them who are here are the ones who have not been able to make healthy adjustments with their sons or their families. And some of them have only daughters who are now married, and there is nobody to take care of them. A few of them are bachelors without any liabilities. Besides, there is a group of elderly men whose children are settled abroad.
माने खास तौर से वो उनके बच्चे बाहर विदेशों में काम करते हैं.
While the younger generation may have left for greener pastures in some families, in other households there are no young ones to speak of. The elderly couple, like this one, living in a remote village in Rajasthan, have to fend for themselves and face the hardships of life alone.
इनके आगे पीछे कोई नहीं था,
They do not have any children, and in our caste, according to the custom, such people can perform their own rituals even while they are alive, since there is nobody to perform it for them after their death. So they have also done everything which is done for the peace of the departed soul. Now they feel that they don't have anything to lose, even if one of them passes away. Nobody would be able to raise a finger at them, knowing fully well that their duties are over and nothing else remains to be done.
Normally, as one grows old, there is a deterioration of the physical and mental capacities. Lack of adequate participation in the activities of the society, as well as a neglectful attitude of the others towards the elderly, makes this situation worse and makes the physical and mental disabilities worse than what they have been. Here are a few tips to prevent that from happening.
Accept that aging is a normal growth process. Keep yourself active and occupied. Develop a disciplined daily routine. Spend time with family and children. Take part in family activities and chores. Share your wisdom and experience. And here are a few tips for the family members. Accept and acknowledge the presence of elderly in the family. Be sensitive to their special needs and problems. Be a patient listener. Give them some time and opportunity to participate.
There is an urgent need to focus our attention and create awareness about the lives of the elderly, their needs and wishes, joys and sorrows, hopes and problems. There is also a need to change our attitude towards the elderly so that these lives, these golden moments, are filled with peace and contentment. Instead of asking what they have done for us, let's for a change ask what we can do for them.
Silent in your tears, wasted in your years. When you cry alone. Recourse to fantasy, living with insanity. Another night beside the phone. Don't your mind feel the pain? Seek your meaning by mind watch. Cage the war within, addictions in the bin. Curl up with your memories, togetherness and harmony.